What's going on, guys? Alex here and welcome back to another video. Before this video starts, I'd just like to say in the next couple of days I'll be doing a podcast talking specifically about the Sunderland away game that happened on Saturday. If you've not seen that video, there'll be a link in the description. It's brilliant, and thank you so much for the support on that. I think we've got like already 7,000 views. I think it's nearly on 8, so that's pretty good considering that my views this season have been around 2-3,000 per video. So thank you very much for that. But I honestly wanted this podcast that I was going to film this week to be focused on the Sisu kind of topic and where we'll be playing next season. But after the Sunderland away game, I think there's so much to talk about that if I wanted to do an hour on Sunderland, an hour on Sisu, we'd be here for about 2, maybe even 2.5 hours. So instead of doing a separate podcast, which I think we will do anyway, but I don't think we'll do it this week, we're going to do Sunderland, and I'm going to talk my opinion on more about where we'll be playing next season. It's already pretty much been confirmed that they just can't seem to get a deal at the Ricoh Arena, which is a little, what do I mean a little, is a massive shame. It is. We've been there for, what, 13 years now? And the ground was built for us as well. And I understand that the capacity of 32,600 is a little bit too much for the size of our club now. And it's a bit of a waste. But surely Wasps aren't going to bring in more than 20,000 on average. You mean their attendances have just dropped dramatically this season. Mainly because their free tickets are no longer a, what's the word for it, kind of luxury to the people that were getting them. You mean they were giving away so many free tickets, it was unreal at one point. But now it's just got to the point where people are getting through tickets thinking, oh, I don't even want to go. Because this isn't really a rugby city. Do you know what I mean? Like, rugby cities like Bradford, they've got a good football team, but they've got a strong following in their rugby team. Same with Leeds. And you look, majority of the northern teams have strong rugby teams. Wigan Warriors, for instance. But then there's the Wasps. It doesn't really attract people. It's a London-based rugby club that have moved. They were already playing in Wycombe, which is closer to London, but it's not in London. So yeah, unfortunately, it looks like we won't be playing at the Ricoh. I'm going to be looking at all the grounds that are kind of in the Midlands and what I would call easy to get to grounds. But there's 3 non-league ones that have specifically came up time and time again for this conversation. We're going to start with the Blitz Arena. Current capacity is only 3,000. And I really think they would need 100% to expand things if they were to play at the Blitz Arena. However, the people that work at the Blitz Arena, the owners of Coventry Rugby Club, have pretty much confirmed that they do not want to work with Sisu or the Coventry City ownership if they were to play at the Blitz Arena. Firstly, and personally, I think it's probably a better location for Coventry City than the Ricoh Arena. It's the only one where if we were to expand, build a 15,000 seat stadium, I would probably be a lot more happier with. Due to the fact, easy transport links on the train. You could get there easily in about 5 minutes, 10 minutes from the Ricoh Arena as well for anyone, because it's genuinely just one straight train. It's a 9-minute walk from the train station, and there's I keep saying transport links back to Birmingham, to London, to Nuneaton. There's a cross-country one that goes all the way down to Bournemouth, so there's a lot of good transport links around there. It's a 10-minute, 15-minute walk from the bus station as well, and it just seems a lot more better based than the Ricoh itself. It's also like a 6-minute walk from the city centre, right next to the Sky Dome as well. So it's a brilliant location. It's just the fact that it's the size as well as the room to expand, because if you look at the room to expand, there's not much. There's a car park on the kind of, say this is the stand here. There's a car park here, which is the main car park looking out. There's another bit here which is probably going to be a bigger, you could fit a bigger stand on there, but it'd be very tight and compact. And I've said to a lot of people, if it's tight and compact, you'll get a better kind of feeling. You'll feel more like a football ground than a stadium. I think the Ricoh Arena has a massive problem of being too big, but it could also, you could turn up there and it wouldn't really feel like a football stadium sometimes. Like, you know, it could also feel like a bit of a music venue. I think the Ricoh Arena is not a football stadium, it is more of a music venue. But the Blitz Arena is, in my opinion, my favourite option. The second one is Liberty Way, home of Nuneaton Town. This holds a capacity of 3,800. Again, I genuinely think this one would bring in fans. A few problems though. Nuneaton are in problems themselves, and I don't think they would want us, as much as it would probably help them, I don't think they would want us to come and play at their ground. It's also probably not big enough, and it is nowhere near the train station. Like, I've been there 8 or 9 times, probably more. I've been quite a lot of times, to be fair. And it is a long walk from the train station. You've got to walk through like an industrial estate, past a pub called Crystal Palace. It's like a good 20-minute walk. As well as that, it's not in Coventry, it's North Warwickshire. So that would be a little kind of tedious to get to. But compared to some of the other ones on this list, it's close, trust me. And the final non-league one is at Butland Road, home of Rugby Town. Now this one holds 6,000, which, you know, depending on how many people would actually go to games, could be a good capacity. However, it's also not in Coventry, but I think this one's kind of fallen through because there was a time where Butland Road seemed like a real kind of asset, but it's not really been spoken about since. Same with Nuneaton, to be fair. But yeah, this holds a capacity of 6,000. It has a really nice seated stand, quite a large seated stand, and a smaller kind of seated stand. It could do a job in League Two. I'm not gonna lie. It's just the fact that could it be enough? Because I don't know. Would many people travel to rugby? I know for a fact that I probably would. I don't think it's too far away, and you know, it's a bit like Brighton in a way. Brighton's ground's just outside Brighton. Rugby's 9-10 minute train from Coventry train station, and it's not that far. Anyway, after them three, there's a lot of Football League grounds. I'd also like a quick mention of Solihull Moors' ground, Dampson Parkway. This has not been mentioned, but it could be a good asset. They've been doing a lot of expanding recently, and it is only like an 11-minute train from Coventry. But yeah, anyway, on to the Football League grounds. Now, I visited every single Football League, well, I visited every single ground on this list. And I'm going to really talk about my opinion on not only the ground, if I'd like them to play there, and how far and whatever. Now, the most ludicrous one on this list is one that's actually came up somehow. Vicarage Road, home of Watford. Now, I went here back in April when they drew 0-0 to Crystal Palace. And it's a lovely ground. It is a brilliant ground. If Coventry had that ground, it's brilliant. It's a nice 20,000 seater stadium. It would do our club perfectly. However, and when I say however, I mean it's not in Warwickshire, it's not in the Midlands, it's north of London. It's like a real just stupid. It's further than Northampton, way further than Northampton. No way would, like, how many people went to Northampton? Like 1,400 people probably went on average, yeah. No way would 1,000 people go to Watford to watch us. I don't even think the London Supporters Club would bother going to that. Like, honestly, I just don't. It's just ludicrous how this has came out. Yeah, I don't really want to talk too much about it, but it's for some reason become an option, so I thought I'd mention it anyway. And this one has not been mentioned, but it could be a possibility. Molyneux Stadium, home of Wolves, been here twice. It's a nice stadium, but again, it's in Wolves. Easy to get to on the train. It's only an hour away on the train. It's like a 10-minute walk from the station. But yeah, them sort of Premier League clubs, so I couldn't really see us playing there. Also, 31,000 seats is way too big. Then we've got St Andrew's Stadium, home of Birmingham City. This one's came up a lot. I don't really understand how, because why would we be playing in Small Heath? It's just a bit weird. This stadium holds 30,079. So it's near enough, just as big as our ground, and I don't see why we would play there. Birmingham playing in the Championship, and it really would affect things as well, because you think of it, with Baggies, Wolves, Birmingham, Villa all being quite close together, a lot of the games seem to get moved. You see Birmingham play a lot on Fridays. If we were playing there, God help us, it would just like half our games would be on Sundays, because we wouldn't be the priority, definitely not. And how many people would go? Again, like Watford, it's annoying because this one's pretty hard to get to, in my opinion. It's like a 15-minute walk from the train station, and it's like you have to get on and off trains and stuff. It's like 2 trains. But yeah, I don't know about Birmingham. Really, how this again was a possibility, I don't even know. Also, I forgot to mention, back at the Blitz Park Arena, that we've been using their ticket office as our ticket office for the past 2 seasons now. So I think that's why it's such a big what's the word, possibility. But again, I don't think it's going to really happen at all. Anyway, moving on, we've got Derby County, Pride Park Stadium. Now, I've heard a couple people say this one after the Burton one came out. A couple people said Derby. No way are we going to move to a bigger stadium than ours. It's just stupid. Pride Park holds 33,600. I went there like literally a month ago. They drew 1-1 to Sheffield Wednesday. You can go follow on the channel if you've not seen that video yet. It's a really, really nice stadium. It's brilliant. The only thing is, there's no way, and I've heard 3 or 4 people say that just never are we going to move to a bigger stadium. We don't need a bigger stadium because there's no way we're going to average our attendance. I saw Robin said something the other day saying I still think a lot would travel. Personally, like hands down, I don't know what I would do because after this past couple seasons, I really don't think I could stay away. You mean, this season I've missed 1 game. We lost 3-0, and I was gutted that I didn't go, even after we'd lost 3-0. That shows how much the club has kind of pulled fans in and made them want to come. Like, who's gonna, like me, who's gonna want to go all the way to Plymouth to watch football? Someone said to me the other day, "You're mad going to Sunderland. It's bloody miles away." It was a brilliant game and everything, but if we'd have gone there and lost 3-0, I probably wouldn't have cared. Do you know what I mean? You know, I just feel as if it's changed. Because 5 years ago, I went to Northampton. I was gutted, but it wasn't as life changing because we weren't really doing much on the pitch, you know. And I think, especially the fan base as well, and especially for the younger generation like myself, I never really had anything to kind of cheer about. We'd lost 2-0 at home to Chelsea in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup. That's like the most I'd ever really. We beat Man United. We took Newcastle to extra time. You know, like you know, stuff like that. That really just not massive things. Now looking back, but at the time it was pretty big. Then the Hawthorns, home of West Bromwich Albion. Reasons why this would happen. We played them in a friendly for the Cyril Regis Memorial Trophy last season, and hopefully, fingers crossed, there's another one. I love the Hawthorns. Been there twice already. Brilliant ground, and yeah, it's just great. I actually quite like West Brom and Wolves. I like both of them. I think they're the only rivals where I don't dislike one of the clubs. Like Liverpool, Everton as well. Probably I don't dislike either of them, but like City United, I don't really like Manchester City at all. I think they're just a bit of a plastic club. But yeah, West Brom Wolves, I like both of them. Birmingham Villa, I can't stand Villa, really. United and Wednesday, don't like United. So it's just a bit of that. Yeah, this ground holds 26,500. If these get promoted to the Premier League, I think there's even less of a chance. But this one's been spoken about as well. People going to Baggies, personally, I don't know how many people would go. It's quite easy to get to on the train. Only thing is, like I said with the Birmingham one, a lot of games would have to be changed because of where the ground is and who the team are, and etc., etc., etc. So before we get to the final one, I'd just like to discuss the possibility of returning to Northampton Town Sixfield Stadium next season. 34 miles away, has a capacity of 7,600. I think even less people would go if it was back in Northampton. I don't know, actually. I really don't know. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think there's a massive chance it's not going to happen. I think someone's even confirmed that it's not happening. But it's a possibility. And to be fair, there's not much of our options. Anyway, on to the final option, which was only really been spoken about the last week or so, and it's the possibility of playing at Burton Albion's Pirelli Stadium. This stadium holds 6,900. It's a neat little ground, and the fact they were in the Championship, fair play to them. It's not too far. I think it's like 35 minutes away. But yeah, like it's obviously like none of these are really in Coventry other than Coventry United's Blitz Park Arena, but this one seems just a bit random. It's come out, and I don't think this one will really attract more fans than went to Northampton again. It has one seated stand, 3 terracing stands. Also, this is probably the most problematic because I don't think we're going to get promotion this season. Burton are probably around about the same place as us. Northampton don't look like they're going to go up. So this is the only one on this list where we're in the same league with them. What if we're playing Burton at home? What would happen then? That's a massive question. And again, if we're ground sharing, I think Rugby Town and Coventry United, you probably and Nuneaton now because they've been relegated, you wouldn't have to worry about. But what if we were playing at Baggies and then we got them at home in the FA Cup? It's just a massive, massive problem. It's weird. And it's what's happening with Truro and Torquay at the moment in the National League South. But for me, I think it shouldn't be happening, should it? I don't want to discuss it too much. I just wanted to today just discuss the possible places where we could be playing. I've sat for like nearly 17 minutes talking about it. But yeah, there will be a podcast, as I said, talking about Sisu and this whole situation a little bit more. So we'll probably discuss every option a lot more than I have today. But I thought I'd make this video just to talk more about it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new, go and check out the Sunderland video. It was class. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.